Good morning, Abraham Amalba, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning to you and to your listeners.
Great. So I look at the functions of the National Road Safety Authority. Nationwide road safety education campaigns and publicity ensure the implementation and enforcement of road safety standards and procedures, in addition to the earlier mandate of promoting best road safety practice among road users and coordinating road safety activities. Long and short, it is your responsibility to ensure the safety of road users. Unfortunately, we have a disturbing trend. Motorcycle riders not observing traffic regulations. For them, red means go, and just this year, first quarter, 750 of those involved in crashes involving motorcycles have died. What are you doing about this?
Well, the National Road Safety Authority has a role to sensitize and educate motorists, not only Okada riders, but drivers as well. Now, we do this in collaboration with other agencies like the MTTD and the GVLA. The problem with Okada riders is because they have not been legalized and the activities are illegal. Now, if you see an Okada rider jumping a traffic light, it's not because he wants to jump it, but he's rather running away from a policeman who may accost him at the traffic light and take away his key. But we have also come to agree that Okada has become one of our modes of transport, and we cannot say that because it is illegal, they shouldn't ply the roads, because it's becoming popular. Okada is providing transport services to our doorsteps, and so the people are patronizing it, even though it is dangerous in the way it is now. When we legalize Okada, then it will now give us the opportunity to provide them with road safety education, road safety sensitization, and then they have a responsibility to ensure that they obey traffic rules. At the moment, let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have standardized helmets. Now they wear all kinds of helmets. When there's a road crash, sometimes they don't die out of the road crash. They die out of the helmets that they are using, which are not standardized, because the helmets break and choke them in the head and rather kill them. So when Okada is legalized, we will come with standardized helmets, and anybody who is an Okada driver or even a motorist must use those standardized helmets. That, in a long way, would prevent deaths when there are road crashes. So, the legalization is where we can find answers to most of these problems that we have.
Okay. Now, before we get to the legalization, let's look at what we can do now. And let me say that we've also been joined by Cecil Gabra, who is a transport consultant. Thank you very much for joining us, Cecil. Okay, I think we may have lost Cecil. Let's see. Let me get back to Abraham Malaba. And so, you're talking about how the shing of Okada would help, and how you would have standardized helmets helping. But Abraham Malaba, we have a problem on our hands now. 750 Ghanaians died in the first 3 months of the year. Apart from the legalization, which you're going through the processes. What are you going to do now to actually deal with the problem while we wait for the legalization?
So currently, we have to collaborate, and we have been collaborating with the MTTD to ensure that motorists who overspeed, and sometimes the problem has to do with the Okada rider himself. Motorists who overspeed would be arrested by the police. The other thing too has to do with we talked about speed governors. Speed governors are also called speed limiters. I wrote a letter to the National Security asking them to allow this to happen and to put the police back onto the roads, the MTTD, particularly areas where we call them black spots, because on our roads there are parts of the roads that are prone to accidents. So we need to bring the MTTD back. And because they have withdrawn the police, these riders just speed the way they want, including vehicles. But when they know that there are policemen on the road, particularly areas that we call black spots, when they get there, they will be careful. They will reduce their speed. So the overspeeding is one of the cause, and the MTTD, together with the MTTD, we are working to ensure that these places are manned by policemen before we can now think about rolling out. There's going to be traffic tech. Traffic tech is when you use technology, the cameras on our streets to apprehend.
Yeah, but we have that already. I mean,
we don't have it. It's not yet there.
I've seen the Ghana Police Service.
No, it's not being used now. It's not being used now. There's a law. We are amending the law, and when that law comes into being, including the Okada law, all these things will come on board. So before we roll out the full rollout of the traffic tech, then we need to do these things before the traffic tech comes in.
Okay. So currently, if you're speeding, the Ghana Police Service can actually see you, and they would send you warning messages. In fact, they would get your vehicle number, and if the vehicle belongs to you, they would use the number that you used in registering the vehicle, send a message to you indicating where you were speeding and how you were warned. So that's something that the Ghana Police Service is doing currently.
It is on trial basis. It is not backed by law yet. That's what I want to tell you. It's on trial basis. I've been to that back room, and I know what it's about now. We need the law to back it up.
Let me bring in Cecil Gabra, and please stay with us, Abraham Amaliba. Sis, my concern is with motorists jumping red lights. Now, the challenge for many is even the fact that you sometimes would have police persons there, and so whether it's a motorcycle rider or a salon vehicle user or a car user, the challenge is that you sometimes have police stationed there, and these people don't care and they just jump the traffic. How do we deal with this?
Well, good morning to you. Good morning to your cherished listeners. Right. Thank you for bringing me in this. Yes, first of all, we should understand the work of the traffic light. The traffic light is there to protect us. It is there to control traffic. It is there to get you wait for a little while. The maximum that you could wait doesn't exceed 1 minute, depending on traffic. So first of all, to all of us, let us all be our brother's keeper by obeying rules and regulations. Well, a lot of us do not understand the lights on the traffic light, especially the amber light. Okay, for me as a teacher, as a consultant, I always say that when you are driving and you see the amber light, the best thing you can do is to slow down and stop. Of course, you should apply what we call the MSM rule, which is mirror signaling maneuvering. If you are driving, you get to the amber and then there's a big truck behind you. Hey, don't stop. Just dribble your way slowly and then leave. The police will even clap for you because you will have a big bang at your back. But what about red? Red means you must stop. And then green is also saying you may go if the road is clear. Okay? This is the little education I can give on traffic light. However, we all need to obey the traffic light, whether you are a driver, whether you are on a motorcycle, whether you are walking. right? We should understand that it is there to protect us. And there are laws there, especially for pedestrians. There is a law on jaywalking. The light says you must not cross, and then you are crossing when it is even green for vehicles. So we need to do a lot of education. I believe it is time we go back to the early years of the 70s where we had a lot of TV and that the TV adverts, TV telling us that, look, this is how you need to walk and so on. I mean, we have the laws, the LI 2180 is there. And people need to be arrested when they flout the road regulations. Right? There shouldn't be any issue whether a motorcycle will cross the road and then will go scot-free. Right? It is really sad, and I have advocated the re-registration of our own motorcycles. And then, if possible, and we have money, we should plan. How do you call it? A tracker. Yes, a tracker. And that could be done. There are so many trackers that could know the ownership of motorcycles and so on. This, if we speak to experts like me, I will tell you what we need to do. And then so that we can know where we can arrest those people, just like my brother minister just mentioned the issue. Oh, sorry, the National Road Safety. Am I right?
Yes, National Road Safety Authority Director General. Yes.
Well, thank you. The work is very difficult, though, and you have to involve everybody. I'm telling you, we are all involved. We should start singing the song. We are all involved, so we need to work together as a team because we need to save lives. Many lives are being lost out of road safety, whether we like it or not. Many people are dying on our roads. If you are not a big man, you will not be recognized. Okay, if you're a big man and then you have an accident and then you're lucky you have even a helicopter picking you up, and that will be news. Right. So let us all get ourselves involved in solving this issue. We need education. We need a lot more of laws to tackle issues. I mean, people must be punished for going wrong, whether, again, you are a minister, you are a managing director, a CEO, you are an ordinary person. We must face the laws, and some of these things must be published, and as soon as it goes viral, everybody will know, hey, don't do it. Look, my friend was driving on the Bree Hills, and then she had a message that, look, you are driving more than the stipulated time. That's a very good thing. We are just praying that those laws must come in place, and then people must, be punished. The punitive measures will control us and also will make money for the government of Ghana. Okay? You go to a country like Netherlands and other countries, European countries, road safety raises a lot of money for the government. It is even not about the money, but it is to do with helping each other. So we do not want flouting regulations and then saving lives. No, this is what I have to say for now.
Great. So let me bring in back Abraham Malaba, who's Director General of the National Road Safety Authority. So just a way of clarification, you're saying you're teaming up with the police service to ensure that the MTTD is able to deal with this, right?
That's so, and I have written to the National Security because the National Security wrote to me to deal with the numerous accidents all over the country. I wrote back to them indicating that we need to let the MTTD go back onto the roads, particularly the black spots, areas where there's frequent accidents, and we all know them. I can tell you offhand that when you take the N1, it's one of the areas. If you take Legon intersection, it's one of the areas. That's the Oponglo areas. So we know them. Winneba Road is one of the areas. We know all these places. I also requested that we put in speed governors. And I think the DVLA has written to me and the Standards Authority for collaboration towards fixing speed governors or speed limiters on vehicles. So we are working towards having but the indiscipline on the part of some Okada riders is also the reason why the accidents are on the increase.
Okay, now when did you write to the police? to have
to
the
the
MTT.
national security.
Yes, so you said the national security. Yes. When did you write to them?
That should be last month. I can share the letter with you if you want to.
Okay, so we want to know the timelines and when the police are going to be back there so that this trend can be reversed. That's why I'm asking that question.
Okay.
And finally, you say that many people, it's because they are scared they'll be arrested, but some also are not Okada riders. Some have their own motorbikes, and we made the point this morning. If I go to Tamale, I have seen people in Tamale when the light turns red, when the traffic light turns red, they stop. I don't see that much in Accra. It's not because, so it's not only Okada riders who are doing this. So aren't we diagnosing the problem wrongly?
No. People are infected. It's a disease. So they see the Okada rider right past. Why should I also, a private person on my motor, stop? So in Tamale, in up north, every motorbike will stop. Why would you not stop? So it's infectious. So you don't look at it from that angle. If you segregate it that way, you won't get it. It's a habit which has been cultivated and it's infectious.
Okay. So all other things being equal, when do we expect to, based on your interactions, when do we expect to see the MTTD on our roads enforcing these laws?
I was supposed to have a meeting with the IGP, who himself was once an MTTD commander, so that making a follow-up to my letter. That meeting has not happened, and I'm still pushing to have it. I want to hear from the MTTD whether my request will be acceded to. Then I can get back to you. I think they were withdrawn under Dampare. And so when you're applying our rules, you see that the MTTD are no more there. And I think that for the black spots, we should have our MTTDs back.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Abraham Maliba. Yes.
Just chip in this for Lawyer Maliba. The Parliament recently considered some sports fines. We've seen some amounts also allocated for the different infractions that motorists may engage in and may attract that fine. What's your legal appreciation of that law, and would you say that it's sufficient in dealing with this trend that we're seeing with the Okada riders?
I think this has to do with the DVLA infractions that deal with non-compliance with DVLA issues. So if you have tinted glasses, if you have vehicle numbers not written in italics, so those are matters relating to DVLA. It is not; these fines are not fines for road infractions. It's just about DVLA.
Yeah, but my point is, don't you feel we missed that opportunity at least to have introduced that? You could have done that jointly with DVLA.
Well, yeah, you could say that, but we are also coming up, and there are some fees and charges that we have placed before Ministry of Finance. If it is cleared, then it would deal with the matters that you are talking about.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Abraham Maliba. And thank you also, Cecil Gabra, for making time to join us this morning here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. So, Kojo and Blessed, there you have it. Abraham Maliba and Cecil Gabra sharing their thoughts. For Abraham Maliba, he's talked about how he thinks this can be resolved, starting with the legalization of Okada and also liaising with the Ghana Police Service to have the MTTD back and ensuring that they grab these guys.
And where I left off with the sport fines would have helped, Winston, because you know that these people, they know that there's certainly no punitive measure or sanctioning regime if they get to just jump the lights and they go scot-free. So if we're able to bring in that allowance for at least the MTTD officers, because for now, under the DVLA revised laws that he was referring to, they could only go to the extent of checking the safety of the car, but not the person flouting the road traffic regulations. So if we could bring in that leg of sport fines for those who jump the red lights, then of course the police officers, the MTTD officers, can do justice to whatever it is that they may find on the road.
Kojo Boateng.
You know, listening to Lawyer Maliba, listening to Cecil and all of us, I will still maintain that it is an issue with a lot of different angles and a lot of different considerations, different things we must consider. Look, even with the police, the presence of the police, some people will tell you that the police presence led to extortion. I used to run a delivery business for the defunct Shop and Save supermarket. I had about 6 bikes. All my riders had their licenses, they had their helmets, the motors all had their, what do you call it, roadworthy and everything, right? And we had insurance. You know what happens?
Tell me.
The boys are going to deliver, they get to police, the police stop them. Produce this, you produce this, you produce this, you produce. In the end, they find something to arrest them for. And these people are delivery people who need to deliver something within a certain time. So at a point when we did our numbers, about 30% of our costs were Momo I was sending to the boys to give to police. About 30% of my cost. And if there are delivery businesses listening to us right now, they should call in and text in and tell you what the challenge is with the police, even when they are doing the right things. So there were some policemen who are just extorting money from these, because generally in our minds and the attitude of the populace is that these two-wheelers, they are all breaking the law. Even our introduction, we said, why are they, we didn't say why are some of them running red lights. Why are they all running red lights?
Oh, we talked about some, because we had indicated that in Tamale, for instance, they don't run red lights.
Number 2, you need to build infrastructure to support every other form of movement. That's why we have rail lines, we have bus lanes, you have this. Where are bicycle lanes and motor lanes in this country? In Accra, we attempted to build something like that on the Tetekwashi to Adenta Road. The thing ended around Legon, right?
Look, in Accra, the World Bank assisted us to build around High Street, bicycle lane.
And the thing is, they are even not interconnected with any other thing. So you get to certain portions, you can go. You get to certain portions, you cannot go. And some of the red zones that Mr. Maliba was referring to, Oponglo. How often does the Oponglo traffic light work? The number of crashes that have happened at Oponglo, did we record the data to show that the crash happened when the traffic light was working or not? How often does the traffic light work? Medina, 11 p.m., there is total chaos. We need to talk about the attitude of other road users, the way we've engineered our infrastructure to support every level of motion. That is also part of it. You see, I went to Johns Hopkins University for the Global Road Safety Leadership Academy. And in analyzing all these things, sometimes you ask yourselves about 5 whats and 8 whys before you arrive at the problem. We travel a lot, Winston, you and I, on the Asikuma Junction to Havel Road. There are a lot of police checkpoints.
Yeah.
In those areas, when you wake up in the morning, if you're not picking a ride from Kwando to Accra, you would have to resort to a motorbike to get you to Asikuma Junction or someplace before you get car, or you go to Peki or go to Peve before you get cars. If you go to Mpoho, if you leave the main Mpoho town, all the other towns and villages is motorbikes, right? Go to Nkransa. Look, when I'm going to visit my mom, if I don't go on a Tuesday or if I'm not driving, I will walk about 8 kilometers to my village, because you only get a ride to your village on Tuesdays, which is a market day. Or you'd have to find money and charter a taxi for like 400 Ghana cedis. So these motorbikes have come to stay. But at every checkpoint, whether the motor rider is carrying Jesus Christ, your police officers want to extort money from them. So they always want to evade. All those are some of the underlying issues that we don't talk about. We don't talk about some of these underlying issues. So you don't have infrastructure to support them. You don't have your bike lanes. Even human beings walking by the road, you don't have pavements for them. The few ones that we have been taken over by traders. It is one of them. That's why road crashes, if you look at data, a lot of people who are knocked down by vehicles on the road are sometimes people who are just trying to find their way. and there are no proper. So you have to share the road with a vehicle. Bicycles, motorbikes, three-wheelers. So all these things are things we. So if the Ministry of Roads, for example, is designing new roads, we need to accept the fact that motorbikes are now in the rural areas and in the peri-urban areas your main means of transportation. Within the urban areas, they are the hub of trade and commerce for deliveries and all those things. So we need to put in safe measures and infrastructure to support them. On the helmets issue, why can't we legislate that any company selling motorbikes should sell the right the right standard helmet, so that you don't take a bike out of a showroom without a helmet?